Greetings and welcome, my name is Sugi and thanks for joining me today on my patch 5.7 notes breakdown. I will be giving you the in-depth version, not the TLDR shit. So I will be talking about the theorycraft aspects and everything else. And I did the video already yesterday, but that was in low audio quality, so I decided to tune it up and do the video again because it was a bit lower to my standards as a content creator, I guess. So let's talk about the game. So Earth is gonna stay, that's great, it's a great game mode, only normal game mode I like to play actually. And the first change we have is Bard. Bard is getting more 80, 6 more 80, that's quite much, and 4 more base armor. He was quite squishy to be honest. And this is a really good changes for the Bard jungle. So if you're gonna play him in the jungle, these changes are gonna like boost him up a bit on the, you know, things of clear rate and overall sustain during the jungle. I usually played attack speed based build, so I took the old Feral Flare, I still don't remember the name of it, and then I made Witch End and Nashor, and I tried to and of course Lich Bane. I tried to make this like on hit type of a build. It was kinda okay in the late game, but the problematics of it was the collecting the meeps took like 40 minutes to be viable. But in this patch they are actually changing things. They're dropping 2 seconds of each level when the meeps will respawn, okay? And this is kinda good, but the problem is, and actually I did say it wrong on the yesterday's video, that I thought the chimes would respawn much faster in the map, but this is not the case, and this is the big problem here. The chimes need to respawn much faster in the map in order to get the full benefit of things. It takes like 40 minutes to take like 70 to 80 chimes, and that's too much. But the meep respawn time is gonna help you a lot to shot a lot of damage. And Chime Mana Restore has been changed to 12% instead of like 15 plus 8 of missing mana. Maximum mana is much better, I guess. And they pretty much boosted everything but the base level Q. If the first level would have been better or higher, the jungle rate would have been much faster, but you already got like 6 bonus 80, so I guess the jungle part of it is still like getting boosted a bit. But I wish that if the Q did like 90 damage, maybe it would like affect overall things a bit more in the long run. But overall, these all changes are going to like affect the jungle kill rates for like Bard if you're interested in playing him as a jungle. It's still like problematic is that the chimes don't respond like fast enough. And they did an interesting change to Blitzcrank. They removed the movement speed, and well, they didn't remove the movement speed. They reduced the movement speed by 3 seconds and gave like a huge burst of speed for a small period of time. And when the speed boost ends, he is gonna get slowed for 30% for 1.5 seconds. So it's kind of like Achilles heel, and you gotta like time it really perfectly. But I'm saying like Blitzcrank is not an ideal champion to play. Sure, it works sometimes, but it's the problematic is if you don't get 80% of your hooks done, you're a useless champion. Blitzcrank has nothing to offer in a team fight except carrying a bunch of aura items. He just does nothing. He has a 1 punch, he has ultimate that interrupts some channeling spells, that is okay. But other than that, he's super bad. He's not a champion you want to lane with because he does bring nothing to the laning phase. He has actually high sustain with a lot of mana items, but he's still relatively useless to every other tank in the game. He's a very niche, and a lot of the bad people, you know, when they're forced to support, they're gonna pick Blitzcrank. But please, try to learn something. Don't play Blitzcrank. It's a fucking danger pick. It's not like it's not guaranteed win. Darius is getting interesting changes, so refunds mana on kills now, but only at the last level it can reset, and that kinda makes the early snowballing much harder. Evelyn is getting changes to Hate Spike, so the Hate Spike will deal more damage per level, but overall I don't think Evelyn is gonna get much out of this because she's still gonna be, this is not gonna be viable still because the new jungle items don't fit to her too well. in my opinion. The Luden's Echo could really work on Evelynn, but I haven't really tried that yet. I talked about it on the last patch, but it could be the golden thing for Evelynn. As for Fizz, they're changing the percentual target missing health damage to the passive over time rather than the active, and that's kind of interesting, but that's what they did. So this is better for the jungle clearing, I guess, and guy farming on the lane. I consider it a buff. It is a buff. Garen getting cooldown removed from his ultimate. A lot of problem with Garen is not this, it's that people build him wrong. You can't go swiftness boots, you don't need swiftness boots, you always go tabbies or mercury threads because it works with your passive, W passive, you get more armor and MR. You can't build him full tank because he has only 1 CC, he is useless as a 1 tank. What you need to do is you build Black Cleaver and go spin around the enemy team and try to get much as armor penetration done because each spin will add 1 stack on Black Cleaver. So you build Black Cleaver and maybe you build another damage item like Hydra or Trinity, because Trinity works with your Q on the Sheen proc. So 2 damage items, then you go just like full armor and MR items. Maybe you build Hexdrinker even, but those kind of items are best for Garen and that's what you should do. Then we have Hecarim. They're nerfing the base health and mana regions. He was kind of like a top pick. He doesn't really get affected by this in my opinion. Kassadin, they buffed him Rift Walk, so you can spam it much frequently without going out of mana. Kassadin is still very powerful. I expected to see him a lot more because they did the visual update, but I guess not. Maokai is getting his health restored like lower at level 7 and 13. This is 2% less, so it's actually not much. So it's pretty much nothing, but I guess it's a small nerf, but Maokai is still gonna be viable, still gonna be strong. They updated Morgana's icons and audio and visuals. I didn't know about the audio part, but SFX look really cool. Nidalee is getting nerfed to health, and this just means the jungle will be much more annoying for her to clear, I guess, because you are just getting in danger to get counter ganked. So I mean counter ganked or counter at your jungle. As for the lane Nidalee, since you will be staying on you could just get burst release. So you gotta be more careful. I think those nerfs are really good. I would just rather take the percentual damage out of your W. Just take the percentual damage from the traps, or just make the traps not do any damage or something. We don't talk about Queen in this channel, sorry guys. Rek'Sai, what they're doing is they buffed kind of changed back the tunnel thing and just nerfed again the damage. So they're just trying to make her more like a utility and CC based more than like a damage one. I think that's great. Shen, I talked about this yesterday already. So Shen has a lot of potential to be a support again. These cooldowns, like 20 seconds, quite much if in the overall of things. Actually 40 seconds at last level, so it's quite much. And every 2 minutes you will have your ultimate, and you will have, if you build support, you have a lot of CDR items, so that's a very short CD. So you can roam a lot around the map again, and I think Shen is really good. Overall in my opinion, and you can probably see him played a lot more in the top, I guess, now, and probably in support, probably we will see. Probably Singe bug fix, Teemo bug fix, we don't need to talk about that. Tristana is getting the change that once you hit a target who has E on it, the charge, you will like reduce his cooldown by half second by units or turrets, and 1 second against champions. Really good with like a really high attack speed, and I think they of course up the cooldown of the E now. So this is just increased the functionality, and this will like punish the bad Tristana players and increase the skill over the good Tristana players. Like you need more mechanics than you used to, because back then you just jumped in and did your abilities. It was like easy burst. You didn't really have any skill involved. I'm not saying she's super hard now, but it's nice to have more mechanical champions to play, which kind of requires some comboing. I talked about this also. So tank jungles are the best now. So Juani, Vi, Jarvan, not maybe Jarvan, but all the tank jungles in Nautilus, these champions are best. They perform so good now. And why is that? Because the tank item is so good. So they nerfed 50 health out of the Cinderhawk. I think it was granted because it was getting bit too tanky for my test. But I still think the tanks are going to be super viable, even though this like small change. They're adding 50 more gold, I guess. It was very cost efficient item, to be honest. And Tiamat is getting now scales linearly. And Gift of Thoughts Spool, so the Krog deals 5% of bonus health rather than 10%, so nerfed it. And this again is nerfed to tank jungles, but tanks, I think they're gonna be better, but now more balanced, I guess, through these two changes. And minions have spawn animations, and in-game banners are like re-enabled or something. Loading screen art has a background art, I guess. I would really like to see fucking wait to see if the game has crashed or not, or am I waiting on the line or what the hell? Because there's not a fucking thing. You don't know when the game has frozen on the loading screen. And well, there is not much like bugs that, you know, we got new skins: Omega Squad Teemo, Archlight Vayne, Guardian of the Sand, Ramus, Guardian of Zerath, and Deponer Kelio. I will be using these on my MK lol. You sure check out that unlocking all League of Legends skins video. That's definitely something on my list of recommendations. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you just like hopefully you like this remake version of this video, and hopefully you enjoyed the background music. I'm kind of testing that out. Thanks, shout out to Epidemic Sounds for that, and subscribe, like, and comment. That's all what I like. And see you guys later on the next patch notes.